Yes, if you're wondering about the GoFundMe that is up there, it is because one of the Hargons is having an issue with something, and he just needs to survive till the 1st of August. That is why the GoFundMe is up. There we go. Hmm. Go. All right. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix speed again. What the strut is that? Looks like there's something going on with the camera. Here, airflow better. All right, what's going on? And here we go. Oh, uh, there we go. Okay, activate, activate. Why is that frozen? There we go. All right, we're back. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure this out. But today we are building this, but I will hold off on building the Honda. The I have to get parts. I have to get plot plates for the next upgrade to one suit. Let me see if I can fix beat two. Alright. But we were building this, but the next build will actually be a different suit entirely. It won't be a mobile suit. It will actually be this little ass. Suda Ninetales Matsuri. So yes, and it's the enchanter type, and this is essentially a cute girl. That is a Shinto shrine maiden and a Nine Tails holder. Hey, hey guys. The main reason for the GoFundMe is actually not for me. This is for a Harugon, 13. He's having a hard time right now. His parents were in the hospital for a bit, and they got kicked out of their hotel slash home, and they need to pay for a hotel room until they can get it. Thanks for thanks, Now or Danny. But yeah, but we yes, I'm not going to argue. This is Bionicle Face. It would be appreciated if we could actually help him get to be able to get till the end of the month, the next month. I did say I was going to do this on stream, and I'm not going to go against my word. All right. Why do I have a feeling that that thing's wrong, messed up? But yeah, and unlike the other times, I will be using stickers for the head unit because one, here, where is that little detail about the there it is. It has three different types of stickers. I want to use two, so that way it actually looks nice. And yes, there is something else. Today is Bugs Bunny's birthday, the cartoon character, which is kind of nice. All right, let's get into the build. I want to know why you're acting dumb. Something's acting stupid, I can tell that. There we go. Alright, pop them open. Okay, something's acting up. Either Twitch is acting up or my computer is. Because I want to be able to prevent the pre-rolls from occurring. Alright. My god, that's amazing detailing. Oh, I love this. All the pipes and everything. Oh no, Bugs Bunny, the main reason why I remember Bugs Bunny is because one, they actually have a Bugs Bunny marathon on a TV show on a TV station right now that I have playing in the background that my mic can't pick up, which is called Me TV Tunes. Yes, something's up with Twitch. Okay, let's get the rest of this opened up. Okay, this is the only rubber part. I will put that over here. Oh no, considering that Bugs Bunny was actually not mega boomer, Bugs Bunny's older than a boomer. Bugs Bunny was a part of the golden generation. It was first created during before World War II. And his original voice actor literally was only a few seconds later in the middle of voice acting him. Why are you okay, seriously? What is up with tire craziness right now? Okay, I need that there. Alright. Now let's see here. Unlike most of the times where I start with the body, this is actually gonna be the body. Alright, here. Okay. It's here. B, C. Don't need them yet. My god, this on his well, he's actually very, very old. He's beyond a boomer. He's part of the silent generation or golden generation. It all depends on which perspective you want to go into. Wait a minute. This is E. I need F. It's A. F1. Okay. F. B. And this is considering that Bugs Bunny is old enough to be an ancient entity, even by my standards. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. That's what's preventing it. Alright, figured it out. So, alright. I need D20, which is this one. And yes, Bugs Bunny is that old. Alright, in a couple of minutes, I will run pre-rolled ads to prevent the at 15-minute mark of the thing. I think it could be what I was trying to fix, but was glitching me, like I was saying, like I was thinking it was. Yeah, and I was able to finally get it fixed. Hey, what's up, man? Uh, if you want, I'm building. Work that around. I'm building this guy from Requiem of Vengeance on Netflix. A good series. It gives you another interesting suggestion on the system of the entirety of the universal century concept. Because this happened before while Amuro was in space. Where they were using enhanced Gundam parts. Ah. Yeah. And this one is actually one of the few. Let me actually pull this down. where it actually has multiple eye sensors. So I cannot do the normal thing with it, where I paint the sticker, put the stuff on it. There we go. That's the main reason why this suit is actually quite unique. Much later, but like, oh, in a way, yes, but it's not. Because this is during the actual war. This is actually during 079. That's the weird thing. Because this is remnants of the. This is Xeon. And then at the end of it, it's literally he's staying, being part of the remnants later on in the series. Later on the time point of the timeline. That are followed up, that are brought into action during Unicorn. But I see where you're going at. You can see it kind of after the first Xeon War. I could see it too. Well, 0080 was during the 1 Year War too. IMS team was not in 008. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I think it was actually during the 1 Year War. Okay, so that's the sliding effect. Nice. I like that. Yeah, F91 was actually that long, was that further in the timeline. I have to fix this. Beats is being stupid again. There we go. Right. Oh. Oh. I had it backwards. There we go. Ooh, that actually looks better. Okay. Yeah. Now I need. Alright, let's see here. This is E12 volt. Okay. And considering the record, we know that it's during 1 Year War. Because Xeon forces still have pounds and everything. Because after the 1 Year War, it's not really them taking over. They're trying to. Most of the fights with Xeon forces after the 1 Year War do happen on Earth. Most happen in space. And the main reason why most of the timelines of the 90s shows all connect to UC is because of the little incident with a colony drop. Oh no, War in the Pocket was actually did have new types. It's just they were building the Alex for Amro, but before they could even do it, get it to him, the war ended. He ended the war before he got that. And yes, War in the Pocket has no new types, that's true. Had some of them because this was you. They basically used some parts. Because understand this. Okay, I am going to start the pre-rolls. I'm going to stop the pre-rolls now. I'm going to start an ad run so that we can continue to talk. I will hold off building anymore. Till then. It'll be a 1 minute and 30-second ad run. So. True. Hmm. Saying that the UC does connect to every possible point of Gundam universes, it is still in the UC timeline. But there's a point. Oh, okay. Mhm. 4 times only touch. That's not true. Because the after war, after calling, future century, you're forgetting one. You're forgetting one. They all get yes. After war, after calling, you see, you're correct. The one I'm actually. Oh, how many models have I built? I have built over, I'd say 200 by now. Some custom, some not. And the one you're forgetting is G Gundam's time is point of the timeline. Because after war comes after Colony. But there is a chance that there is a way of connecting age and Iron Blooded Orphans into it. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. I forgot that. But yeah, four timelines. Future Century. Yeah. It's been so long since I've watched them. See, that slid out. Get back in. You're right. But there is a argument that can be made that if you look at the iron-blooded orphans map of Earth, you still see the hole over Sydney. Either that's an alternate timeline, but the UC still occurred. Which still makes post-disaster and separate. Yeah. I'm just going with evidence that I've seen. And considering that there is a case to be made because after Colony, there is a point where they actually did create something. Yes, the Calamity War. But where I fought against men, yes. I'm saying there's a case to be made that it could be in that timeline. But it would be after Colony, then age. Because those 2 points have Mars related events that would then have, yes, AC is wing, after Colony is wing, because there's Teardrop, Endless Waltz, yeah, wing and Endless Waltz, because Merlina in the after age is AG, yes. Advanced generation, yes. But the main reason why I would say that those can connect is because of those three could connect in a lot smaller point of time compared to the others, which were 10,000 years apart. Yes. That's actually what I'm trying to get at. The possibility, because of what G-Quacks did, makes what I'm thinking a little more possible. That the way we look at these theories, you can actually look at them in different aspects and still see stuff occurring. But with the way they played the Gundam series, the kaiju fighting mech, that's an entirely different timeline. I'm not. That's a timeline where, actually, now that I think about it, I wonder if it's connected to to Gundam 00 with Exia and whatnot, because they are one of the few that actually have actual aliens in the timeline, in their timeline. While in Age, it turns out that the Martians are humans, which is what I was trying to get at. That Relina in the Wing series did try create a colony on Mars, which is why after the frozen teardrop era point, for the original Gundam pilots, Hero, Duo, Katra, and and Proa went to Mars with Gundams. Oh, that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not even sure if that's even in any Gundam universe. The only one I could think of that it might have been, was in Double O. So that one might be just flat out a new timeline. And considering that their alien suits are called alien Gundams, that's interesting in my own mind. But who thought a Gundam would be in that universe? It's amazing, but it's still one of those things you can't really expect. I want to see how that plays out. I really do. I am really tempted to actually do some things with this, but I'm not for right now. And there we go. Right. Now, here, what's next? Okay, I need to pull this out because I need to add the A parts. Luckily, I have that separated. A 26 and 30. Okay. And I see the music ended again. I need to pause this. Go over here. Why do you keep doing this? Honestly, to me, it's not that bad. Oh, wait. You're trying to say pick the name for the Gundam, aren't you? Yeah, that it's one of those surviving units. Honestly, I prefer Zealous and the US because honestly, it looks more like a mix of the Kaiju itself with a Gundam. I like that design and that aspect of that. That looks awesome. Well, I've tried. It is set on a loop. Just somehow it keeps doing something crazy. Ah, Jimbo Gramps. There's a joke there that goes back to another series that I know of. Here, I'm bringing post. I think this goes there. Which way does this? Yep, I was thinking right. Goes here. Oh, and that's is the weirdest piece structure I've ever had to put in. Doesn't want to go together. Weird. I know I'm looking at the thing right. It's supposed to be forward, so why doesn't it want to go in? Weird. That's just maybe the monster weak from all power. I'm arguing with that, but at the same time, uh, higher. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was just not thinking straight. Uh, Monster of the week, yes and no, because kaiju robots, yes. That is Power Rangers through and through, Monster of the Week sort of thing. And Super Sentai, while we're at it. Speaking of which, anyone gonna watch the not not the Super Sentai. This is actually the apparently there's gonna be a Gundam not bleh, Kamen Rider series. That is going to be the first simulcast around the planet. The moment that happens, as you like, awesome. It's how they look. Yeah, it look. Yeah, but this new Kamen Rider is going to be the first simulcast around the planet, even in America, apparently. And my aesthetic, the way my PNG is supposed to be basically based on Kamen Rider, but it's not a Kamen Rider, it's a Kamen Pilot. Because it's basically, I'm piloting a robot similar to the way Iron Man pilots his suits. Uh, there we go. That's a snug fit. Yeah, I'm really debating actually painting those components, but it looks like those pipes are actually going to be visible. Okay, that's interesting. This text, that's starting to annoy me. There we go. That's what the problem was. I have to read that thing. Okay. Right. Put that. A again. I need the back. Considering that that thing also can use something similar. Yeah, I just fixed the issue. This is the reason why I'm trying to save up to get a streaming PC, because apparently this laptop is, yeah, it's acting kind of dumb. But it's what I started stream with, and it does that. I'm starting to think I shouldn't be using OBS to capture it, but at the same time, I listen to other stuff as I'm streaming too. Pre-rolls will be done in 20 minutes. That's good? No? Mm. Okay. Now I need. Oh, I have it in my. I have it in my lap. That. Considering that the entire concept of it is the last species of humanity has to escape Earth just to survive an alien onslaught, and a Gundam is what saves them. Pretty badass. Yes, me. Again, the main reason why I really do think that the Iron Blood Orphan can fit into that point, but it's just, and not one second of it makes made sense. You want to make Kamen Rider make sense in a trailer? You can't do that. Even I know that. You'll have to understand the plot and everything first, because apparently it's similar to Wizard when it comes to the enemies being demons, but it's dream demons this time. His entire power comes from dreams. And the belt is, instead of a normal belt, it's a fanny pack thing. Well, considering that it's one of those that you have to do research on, that's common for Kamen Rider to pull, but at the same time, not. The first interaction that this writer had was in a movie. Eh, don't knock it till you try it. Many people said that the uh, Justice League movie that Zack Snyder made was bad. Eh, traditional history, pride, struggle, reflection, beyond. There is innovation. Do not lose your dreams. Actually, in this case, that actually does make sense to me. Because, one, they're trying to state that they are innovating the writer instead of keeping to the belt, they're giving it a fanny. But to lose your dream is to lose yourself. That is the main concept of what that's stating. History, pride, struggle, reflection. You can innovate and grow stronger, but if you lose focus on your dream of what you're doing, you will cause more misery and pain. That's a philosophical concept that most people would not get. That's the one of the main things that Kamen Rider and Super Sentai have amazingly good concepts to. Here, F, the F here. Then there's a point where the writers have better concepts on what they're doing, even if they are not as skilled as the previous ones. At that point, they actually are trying to maintain and keep and overcome their own advances and problems. Granted, I'm not denying that. Most people would remember the original Kamen Rider, not in America but in Japan. But those of us that watched the American bastardized version of Mask Rider, which was Kamen Rider Black RX, saw the action scenes and man, they were awesome. Well, that's probably what they're trying to pull this time. They've done the secret agents before. They've done the police officer, a ghost, a detective that was soft-boiled, but at the end of the series he became hard-boiled, but still soft-boiled in the inside. Which, honestly, if it was that one was translated to America, it could have been a nice noir kind of Kamen Rider series in America. And considering that, if you think about it, stealing tech and things would be easier if you steal it from someone's dream. Then they can never make it. Okay, Perfume, what? Uh, the music just stopped again. Part of that. There we go. Mm. Enters people's dreams. Is an agent on a mission. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With pen across the chest. That makes more sense. They should have made that the team. Well, if you think about it, he's trying to do this, but there's also we don't know what the villains are in this aspect either right now. We only know what the writer's capable of and what his belt's capable of. There's always upgrades that the belt gets later on. And at that point, it becomes a strange and unusual concept. Like, the original concept of Wizard was literally rings, gems, overcoming the darkness in your soul. Never giving in to the dark thoughts and evil twists and mindsets of your despair. Yeah, pretty much. You could actually even create a crazy concept in your own mind of whatever you want. That's the main reason why I like how the way Gundam, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai run most of the time. They actually think about the fans as actual people trying to overcome certain mindsets that they have. Yeah. Okay. While some of the Power Ranger series have been overusing the same trope over and over again. Alright, I'm going to do a 1 minute ad run. Now that it's at 11 minutes. There's a point where I'm hitting affiliate. Oh, see you next time. Have a nice day. Alright, bye. Have fun, Dal. Dan. Diane. My brain right now is still somewhat fried from this morning's work. Ugh. But again, the Power Rangers could have. I actually watched Go Oners and some of the. Uh, trying to remember what it is. The Action Rangers, I believe. You want to know what's funny? Those were Metal Heroes in Japan, and those were two different seasons. Considering that the two different seasons of Metal Heroes at that, and they were two different endpoints too. There, no. And then the moment you have with the, as I was saying about the, I've said this before, and I'm going to constantly say this. Disney missed a good opportunity that would have made a whole lot more sense with the Super Sentai, with the Samurai season, and that Ranger episode, where movie, where they brought in the RPM Ranger, Red Ranger, to this fight. Considering that it would have made more sense to have it where the Rangers had a way of traveling through dimensions. The RPM Rangers swords were dimension hopping sentient entities, which they did do in Belongers. Which was awesome. Right. Considering that the entire thing was quite literally a good point where they could have had opened up to different dimensions and would have been. They didn't have to stay in the main timeline anymore. They could have done dimension hopping Rangers. Hop from one reality to another. That would have been awesome. And then back to Overdrive. They missed something that would have been much more appropriate instead of that Chrono Aurora. It would have been awesome if they had actually done this. The entirety of the thing. They were still hunting for stuff, but they were hunting for Morphine Master relics. Relics the Morphine Masters left behind. So much so that it was literally, it would eventually find the power eggs, but each component of what they thought was the Chrono Aurora was actually just an artifact the Morphin Masters left. Unintentionally left from the times they interfered, like the creation of the Energems, creation of the Dino Gems. They were using the planet as a essentially not a test tube, but essentially a resource development place. because it's where they're originally from, or from a different reality. That's where the dimension hopping was introduced. And that the morphing grid exists as an omnidimensional energy construct that they figured out how to use. So much so that they could actually jump realities and do things that most could not. But in doing so, they unlocked the dark version of the morphing grid. And then it permeated throughout all realities, no matter if it's the Ranger reality or our own reality. It's where everything comes from that is dark twisted. Just in the Ranger reality, that's where it becomes more obvious. In other realities, they gain some of it, but they don't have a pure source of it. And the Morphin Masters lost their world in that regard. That would be an awesome way of explaining the Morphin Masters. The way the Boom Comics did it, it's not that bad, but it's not that creative either. But that's just my opinion. But out of this suit, it literally has some amazing concepts, but it essentially is a new type system to hunt other new types. It's a new type early warning system. That would be this one, and then where E15. Okay, I'll set there. There we go. So essentially, this suit is just a retrofit of a Gundam system, but it removes the head Vulcans, as it actually states in the. Where is the? Oh, here we go. Information here. One of the combat units. This is one prototype mobile suit developed by the Earth Federation, specialized for ground combat. And operating time and maneuverability were especially boosted as it was designed to go deep into enemy territory to perform reconnaissance in, force, and behind the lines, disruption. Meaning it was I'm going to sneak in, take your butts out, and disappear sort of ghosting suit. Features were enhanced by armor components with back thrusters covered nozzles, with afterburners and modules designed to reduce weight. Although the MS is believed to be based on the RX-78, a pair of small autocannons inserted in the head unit were exchanged for 4 guns. With 4 guns, it's outloaded with included a larger Vulcan cannon mounted on its shoulder as a powerful anti-aircraft weapon. So that's actually kind of an interesting concept, to actually go anti-aircraft sort of a suit, which most other Gundams would not even care about. And some will, some won't. Oh. Oh yeah. Most of these suits would not fully work in our reality, but at the same time, with our tech right now, who's to say we won't end up having Gundams are in the future? Because one, there's already some companies that want to make these into reality. The only problem is the power source is the big issue. Tomorrow I will be streaming early in the day. It's a 16-foot tall robot. It like King Kong versus a plane. Pretty much. Considering that that actually did occur in the actual. Why? Okay, there we go. I like all these details of this. This actually looks more like a actual functioning robot. Wish I had the paint detailing capability of doing this right now. But in the future, I will do detail work on this where it actually looks nice. Okay. Now for the head unit. Where's the F? Oh, here's F. And the music just went out again because it froze. They sold on Amazon. Ah, I would not. There's some places in Japan and in South Korea that are trying to make actual giant robots. Yeah, I know they're real. And there is a point where this is going to get even funnier because there's a Japanese company that has actually made the Gundam pilot seat in a mech. Yeah, not a full-on mech, but they did the Gundam pilot seat, and it looks awesome. I have a habit of keeping in touch with that. Yeah, I know about all of them. Still interesting to think that they did it. Nope. Mm. Yeah, it's it's strange. Hmm. I'm gonna show you this because this is weird to me. Okay. See how that is? That does not have the two eyes. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, that's actually the interesting part about that. Is that very concept is awesome. Now this is where I'm gonna do the eyes, and I'm gonna use two eyes because I want it to have the dual sensing system. And people, yeah, who may get helped with the Bandai with the walking, yeah, that's all that I know, and it's awesome. There we go. Hmm? No. Honestly, that entire suit would have been awesome if they figured out how to actually make it an actual functional without the uh without the power cables and actually make it an actual walkable and functional robot. Okay, now we need A3. No. My Ponzi schemes works on getting. I don't think you want to say that you're doing a Ponzi scheme, dude. Because even here's the thing, you know that was an actual person. Yeah, 8 years ago. They're still building them, but it's all prototypes. They're trying to make them functioning, and the main reason for them is for what they're trying to do is quite literally make them a mobile labor system. Like a, I don't remember that. Oh, like in Unicorn, the suit that the kid pilots. That thing. That's what they're trying to do. Make an actual mobile labor unit for the original grandfather of the Zaku. That is what they're trying to make. Something for construction working that actually you can do this. Pick up, have one go this way, rotate, place. Granted, they already have a dual type brain that can do something like that, but the dexterity of 5 fingers can override clamping at times. But I digress. So let's see. This one. There's a point where most of what we think is going to happen doesn't always happen. Tech is always one of those that, hey, look it over there. That's the advanced tech that's going to happen. But in fact, you got to look down and look to the left. That's the actual tech that's going to come out. So, yeah, you can't always have the same suit do that. Not always going to be the same concepts. Oh, pop that off. So there's a point where what we think is going to happen is not always going to be the same thing that occurs. So there's a point where what we think is going to happen is not always going to be the same concept. There we go. Alrighty then. Okay, I have to do this. Alright, there we go. That's good. Okay. 8, 3, 13. 8, 13. So main thing of why I really think that eventually we will have robots and why we will have colonies in space is not as far-fetched as some people might think. It's more along the line of we don't know what's going to happen. We may have eventually have a awesome change in our tech eventually, where we find out, hey, there is a way of surviving in space and creating families and whatnot. It takes this sort of thing and this sort of thing and this sort of patterns to cause it. That's where the one that would be the most likely to occur, in my mind, is actually Double O, Gundam World. Because it is more likely to be the type to work. Yeah, it's possible. I'm just saying a possibility. Mind you, like I stated, uh, the 50s originally thought that the 2000s would have flying cars, that we would have robot butlers right now. In a way, it's right. In a way, it's wrong. True. I'm talking about more of the tech. The robots would be more of the one. If we fully rely on those guys, it does not always mean we will succeed. This goes back to many things. There always has to be a interface with the person. There has to be. That is a non-negotiable when it comes to things. I mean, the way my legs feel, I can go for another hour, but I want to stretch my legs. In combat, yes. In construction, drone might not be as efficient, but looking for people and disasters, countless other things, being able to lift stuff. There's many ways that a robot could actually be more efficient, but it's how creative you can get with it is what is actually going to help. Granted, we've already seen that drone warfare has been changed as of recent because of what's happening in a certain place. So everything can alter and change. Nothing will remain the same. The only things that remain the same is still the craziness going to occur in the world. All right. No. Ah, come in, Raiders. I am Alex Dragon. I am a free TNG streamer, and I do build gunpla and randomly play video games. The rest of it, I have yet to do crazy. Considering that this is the first raid I've ever had, I am not, I do not have a way of saying it. Yeah, portable MP, MP, MP would definitely be something they would buy, but there's a problem with the portable MP. That you have to create enough energy to actually cause the explosion in the first place. And it would also have to be connected to a certain way. Yep, you're the first raid. Well, first raider being affiliated. The first raid I had was from the devilishly handsome statue VTuber. I cannot say his name because I haven't heard it enough, or even. But he's still a nice guy. It's an awesome guy. And Sentinel, since you're in here, what are your takes on the possibility of a Gundam actually being used not in war right now, but as a construction vehicle, or the possibility of countless different points of things that we could do with a giant robot? Because the main thing I would actually say is it would be better for a robot to be used for building the not building a space station, but building a entire colony base, or even being used as a drone system on another planet to set up a entire habitable zone on another planet for eventual terraforming. It's one of those concepts that you would have to think about to actually get to a crazier amount of things. No, a giant robot doesn't always have to be used for military purposes. Like how they're trying to build the robots right now, they're meant as a entirely unique way of being construction equipment. Some people want to make them into military machines. Yeah, I could see them be for not defense of a facility, but a unique concept nonetheless. Now, yeah, I can see the bionicle head. I actually can see that now. Right now, ah, that, not this. there. Open that up. Because now we're doing the waist. So that we can put him on here. I have to say this. This suit is quite unique. All the pipes and everything. Looks awesome. Okay, I need D. 10. All right. Oh, oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. When I switch between things, okay. This side goes that way. E C H E. Where is that? E18 is in, right? Yep. Mm, no, no. Oh. No, I was right there. Could just click this. Mm-hmm. I believe there's a ad break. We're going to do a 1 minute and 30-second ad break soon. That way, those who are actually wanting to still see this, it is minutes. Because I want to keep these pre-roll ads from affecting any of y'all. Oh, there. Okay, I don't think there's a normal 8 actual normals. Okay, there's no. There's actually no port for this. That is okay. So he's gonna be laying down all the time until I give him his legs. That stinks, but that's actually what makes this suit different. I like it. Hmm. Now I need E, both E's, because I have to get E4 on both. 40, a few seconds. And this is the lake thing. I like how this is actually going to pivot. This is actually interesting concepts. And it's used the 4. All right. There we go. Yep. I'll hold off until you'll come back. All right. Oh. Hmm. 16. This is the butt section, I believe. Or that's no, that's the on it. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Welcome back. Or, hmm. Tuesday. Here. A14. I have A. Where? Ah, 14. Hmm. At first, 3D to base. Last panel in section 11. Let's see here. 3D. To waste. 3D. Okay. 3D. Oh, I see. Oh, thank you. It was one of those random parts you wouldn't notice. Thanks, thanks, builder. Um, that would explain that hole. Yeah, there it is. Right. And then I'll stick it in there. There we go. Okay. Now that we have that, that makes it easier. Okay, go. What? Where did it? Ah, here's the. Where it? Okay, this is gonna be fun. Oh boy, another tiny sticker. Oh, nothing. Hmm. Oh, I see it now. Okay. All right. Thank you. No, no. Mm, Okay. I will put this there. Now I need my there we go. Now five. Well, this is just super silly. Well, all right. Now let's hear E3. All right. With A8. There's A8 being this one. The 9 will be one. Okay. Uh, Honestly, I like this concept more. Why can't we get more like this? Where the square can be moved easily on its own. Oh well. Um, the series build. I mean the finishing build. Now, if I remember, I think this should be 9. That was wrong. All right. Okay. Opposite. All right. There you go. Correct. My mind sometimes is. Okay. Now, 2. and then one E. So I'll put that there and clip one E off too. I can set that there. Same here. And it is right here. Where? Okay. Right. Get these V's first. I'll be right back. Restroom. I'm back. All right. Okay. Now I need another beat. This. Okay, I already know what I gotta fix. All right. Pull this down. Also, I could damage that. Here it. Clean this one up. No. Okay. Where does this go? Oh, I see. Goes there. No. Ah. Now the other side. Considering that most of these dudes would be awesome in real life, but at the same time, too dangerous for even the normie like me, a normal person, a normal entity, to even mess with. I would honestly think that they would actually be more construction related than military weapons, unless somehow they figure out how to prevent drone stuff from occurring. All right, man. I like how that is. Oh, all right. Why did the music just turn off again? Why is it always on stranger on the stranger point that occurs? Okay, now a 7 and 6. Phew. I am still in the middle of setting up the other stuff, but the channel points are scales, dragon scales. Well, oh, well, from this up this way. It's in the counter. There we go. Nice. And there we go. Church now done. Oh, yeah. Oh, and now remember, let's do this right. I'll go straight into that. All right. Okay. We will do the arms and legs and the weapons on Monday. I am wanting to rest from the crazy day I had on my day thing. Well, let me see if I can find someone to raid. Hmm. Let's raid another fellow model builder. Uh, here, or the gunpla girl. Hope y'all have fun. And if y'all are enjoyed the stream, please consider following, turn on notifications, as well as if you want to, sub. And if you're watching this on YouTube, eh, please consider subbing as well as liking and leaving a comment. See you again next time. Just send y'all off now in 4 seconds. That's a Harugon raid, by the way, guys.